A week of tumult as Bitcoin falls almost 5% in a straight line as Bitcoin whale sells 80,000 Bitcoin tokens, making him a billionaire overnight. But more importantly, there's one altcoin you're not going to want to miss this season. We're 50% of the way through this bull run, but there could be more than 100% more in gains to make. Find out more on today's Sunday Fuel.
The year is 2020. As the old financial empires collapsed and crypto drowned in noise and false prophets, one man lost everything. And in that loss, he was called. Through the wreckage of his own failure and the precision of his charts, a higher force revealed what others could not see and entrusted him with a mission to guide others through the chaos he barely survived. They call him Sacred Prophet. And now, the revelation is yours to claim.
Welcome, everyone, to Sunday Fuel for July 27th, 2025. I'm your fearless leader, humble in all domains, Sacred Prophet, alongside Aaron and Training, Bad Guru. Guys, this week in Bitcoin was pretty significant if you're anyone who's not me or one of my acolytes, such as yourself. You might have thought to yourself, this is the peak of the cycle. Bitcoin topped at whatever that was, 123. It sold off, and now things are over with. But if you were tuned in to Sacred Prophet, were you scared? Were you worried? Did you see that waterfall of Bitcoin falling from, what was it?
Hang on, Tom. Sorry. I don't mean to stop you. I know you're on a roll here, but the audio's peaking, so I'm going to have to just change things here because I know you don't like it when it's speaking. All right, test your audio.
Testing 1, 2. You'll let me know if you need me to reduce it at all. You want to see if it's peaking at all to make sure that you have my sweet dulcet tones shooting straight into your ear cavity.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think it's good, but I have to turn on auto gain again. I didn't want to, but...
Well, just let me turn down my gain then.
All right, what's your gain at?
4 o'clock.
All right, go for it.
Wait, should I turn it down?
Just a touch.
All right, the 2 touches.
2 touches.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
This is Sacred Prophet here to let you know that I got you covered. I got you covered. When Bitcoin fell from 120 down to 114, my phone was blowing up. People were contacting me saying, hey, Tom, is this the top of the cycle? Should I be selling? Or should I be adding to my leverage long margin? Do you know what I said, Peter? You know what I said?
Has incurred the sentence of excommunication.
So you do whatever you need to do in order to stay in the trade, because we're going to go back up faster than you can say Betty and Veronica. And what happened? Within less than a sixth of a fortnight, Bitcoin was back up to where it needs to be. You know who had more faith than the supposed traders, professional traders out there? You know who had more faith?
Who?
My stepson. My stepson said, hey, Tom, you said Bitcoin is going to go back up. Will it? I said, yes. Yes, son, it will. He goes, I believe you. I'm going to buy more. I'm going to participate more.
Wait, how old is he?
You. Doesn't matter. It's going to go back up. And then when it went back up, you know what he said that other people didn't say? You know what he said? Tom, you were right. It did exactly what you said it was going to do. It came right back up to where it was before. You're so right. How can you see it happen?
You underestimate my power.
Wait, let me see this chart. Hang on. Let me see the chart. I want to see this chart. Hang on. I don't know why I don't have this ready. All right.
Right here. So we were very joyful here at the potential breakout of this trend on Bitcoin. This is a 2-hour chart. Trend on Bitcoin, we're going to bounce up. Now, we did have a big whale selling $9 billion worth of Bitcoin, turn in their $32,000 stake in Bitcoin that was held for many moons into $9 billion sale. Look, the CIA's got to get their money. NSA's got to get their money, MI6, whatever. I get it.
Okay.
It's all the top in order to get that money, in order to fund whatever they need to fund. I'm not gainsaying the Holy Global Empire. You do you, son. You go, girl. You be that Holy Global Empire. So it sold off. But do you know where you are in the cycle? Do you know where you are in the cycle? We're like a little bit more than 50% of the way through this bull market, which means we got so much more to go, which means your boy, Secret Prophet, wasn't worried about it at all. In fact, I was upset we didn't get down to 113.
We got close.
Yeah, we got close, but I'm going to get down to 113 over here. The problem with that is that the monthly wave crossed it already. Right? So it makes it less likely that we can get down there. But it was trying, but it bounced off over here. Our wave, an indicator you can get on sacredprophet.com, all for free. Go to sacredprophet.com and register. And we bounced up. Now, there's money to be made here. I did add a little bit as we fell. Not as much as I would have added at 113, because that's what we call a perfect setup. But I'm not surprised at all that Bitcoin came back over here. And where did it top out? It topped out right on our trend line that we've been following this whole time. Does it seem like magic? Does it seem like magic that the price of Bitcoin came right back up to where it's been bouncing this entire time? No, it shouldn't. Peter, ask me the question that everyone's going to ask me. Ask me the question.
When Bitcoin 150?
Look at, what did I say about that polymarket bet? What did I say about Bitcoin getting to 150? I said, you be prepared to take that bet every month until it's fulfilled. Every month until the peak of the cycle. Did I not say that?
You did?
Now I get it. I understand. You want it to happen now. I get it. You want it to happen at this moment. But I can't tell you why. I could only tell you what, when, where, and how. And sometimes why.
Okay, but then when?
So it hasn't happened this month. Can it still happen this month? Can it? Find out after a word from our sponsors.
You're right.
Oh, right, wrong show. Yes, absolutely it can. Absolutely can. In the same way that it bounced down over here, it can absolutely do that. Now, let me just paint you the idea here. Before we get to what can happen here for the bull run to occur for us to get to 150 in the time period I'm talking about over the next 5 days, let's take a look at what happened during this, what started off as a boring week, ended up pretty exciting in the middle of it, and then pretty flat afterwards. We had the Monday that happened where we had the price move up on the Monday and down to a high on Monday and a low on Monday. And if you tuned into our revelation on Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember what day of the week it was, I said I was very frustrated with that because we like to look at the Monday move as a signal as to what's going to happen later on that week. And what happened later on that week? Well, exactly what we saw on Monday. I was pressured and I didn't realize it. The uncertainty of the move up and move down meant uncertainty for the week. So we had a move up, potential breakout, and then a drop down of 7%, ending the week up flat. Where are we ending? Basically at the weekly trade right here. So the Monday move that lets us know what the week is going to be. I was looking for bullish, I was looking for bearish, but I didn't listen to the Lord of Liquidity as he was telling me, hey, it's going to be up and down. And what did we see? Up and down. What did we see? Up and down. Whoo, boy.
In the chat, Mr. Dr. B says, you go, girl.
That's right. That Holy Global Empire, you be your true self. Don't let anyone tell you to rein it in. You go, you spread. All right. So that's what happened last week. There was no real trades to take other than add into your leverage long. If you felt like taking a little tiny nibble, we never got the perfect setup. We don't. That's what we deal with here. 50x leverage. Now, for the week ahead, here's what's exciting. This drop, the 80,000 drop that we had, this is going to be a lot of assumptions that we're giving out here, Peter, but we're going to be talking about position and liquidity. This drop that we had from 123 down to over here to the low, if this accounts for the 80,000 Bitcoin that was sold by that whale, that means that this drop over here, this, what was it? How long was it? This was a 7% drop. That's around $9 billion worth of Bitcoin. Let's say we're just back in the envelope napkin math here. And when we spoke last week, the number of shorts, the amount of shorts that were there on the books on some of the exchanges, we were at $7 billion short versus $400 million long, right? The shorts were huge and have been huge, way more than the longs this entire time. And so we were looking for that $7 billion to get liquidated up. Now, because of that drop that we had, thank you, whale, for providing the tender, the souls of the shorts on which we will burn in order to get to our beautiful flat moon up in the sky.
It's the moon flat.
Now the number of shorts that we have is 12 billion short. We were actually at 15 billion short a couple of days ago when we're at the lows of the sell-off. Now we're going to have twice as much shorts to liquidate in order to move our way up. All right. And how many shorts do we want to get liquidated?
Everyone!
Every single goddamn one of them. Take those non-believers and fuel the fires of hell.
Okay. Well, you don't like shorts? I don't get it.
I only like shorts when we're on the short side. Okay. People who bet against the Holy Global Empire or the trend of the Holy Global Empire, I ain't having that.
Okay. All right.
I ain't having it. I don't like them. Now, I like them insofar as they're moving us in the direction that we need to go. But I will see each one of them bleed, suffer, and die before their shorts pay off and our longs don't. All right. So we got billions and billions more of shorts just got into the game thinking it was the top of the cycle. These idiots thought they were peaking and they were rolling over and that they thought they were going to make oodles of money. Excuse me, when does the market pay out large sums of money to the 70 to 80% of people who are on one side of the thing? When does that happen? When it's not in the direction of the Holy Global Empire, when does that happen? I'll wait. Yeah, never. Okay. Here is where I feel real good, Peter. I've been admonishing the longs for not getting levered long the way I am. Not financial advice, do your own research, but you gotta lever long. Oh, I got my college tuition for my children I have to pay for. Lever that. Lever it up. Don't you want to double, triple your money? Not financial advice. Do your own research. Don't do anything I say. So what do we have here? We have now the first time we reached the $1 billion long on the, this is on the left side. You can see over here, $1 billion long. That means the longs are starting to believe. They're starting to listen to your boy, Sacred Prophet.
I don't think anybody's listening to you. No, I don't think anybody's listening.
My voice resonates through you, Aaron, and through everyone listening, and through all their actions, whether conscious or subconscious, to affect the world around you. You are watching someone literally manifest. I am the secret.
Okay.
So don't tell me it's not me doing it. It's me, Michael Saylor, Raoul Powell, and Richard Hart. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Max Kaiser is in there too, no?
Who's Max Kaiser?
Oh, why would you do that? The internet's gonna get us now.
Excuse me. Didn't he abandon the Holy Global Empire to go live in? Where does he live now?
He lives Bitcoinville.
Is he a proponent of the Holy Global Empire? Because he wants the empire to fall and crumble and Bitcoin to be the only thing left standing. Seems like he wants to use the ashes of the empire to fuel his own ambition. Excuse me, I ain't for that.
Okay.
As much as Michael Saylor and I might like have a tit for tat sometimes, I respect false prophets who are here in the Holy Global Empire.
He doesn't know about you.
Has incurred the sentence of excommunication.
All right. Okay, you talked about the altcoin. What is it called today? The altcoin for the ages. What was it? The altcoin. Are we going to?
This is the altcoin you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss. I have not been calling out a bunch of altcoins. That's not my style, right? I like the levered long positions on Bitcoin, but there are certain altcoins when you're in altcoin season that to me are just too irresistible.
I'm not saying that you have to talk about this right now. I just want to know, like, we are going to be talking about that during the stream, right? Like, get back to Bitcoin. I want to hear about
If you think I'm excited about the Bitcoin and what it's and that it's proven me right and that it's doing basically exactly everything that I said, you can't wait to hear what I got to say about the altcoin. That's coming up later on the stream.
Okay, two things. One, just move the microphone a little bit more away from your mouth. Your manly, powerful, holy voice is peaking the audio, so I want that to be gone.
You underestimate my power.
Yes, I frequently do. And then
I can lower my gain a few touches if you want.
No, that's fine. Just keep it away, not too far, but just a little bit of away. And I want to wrap up the whole Bitcoin conversation. So you talked about the previous week. Is that wrapped up? I want to talk about the upcoming week if you're ready for that, and then we can move on to the altcoin.
Yep, upcoming week. What we have going on here.
Whoa. Wrap up the previous week?
The previous week is wrapped up. What we saw was that Monday told us that the week was going to be flat and uncertain, moving up and down, and that's exactly what happened. There's no trades to take last week because it didn't move to our perfect levels. That's all it is. What is important was that I was dead right, that Bitcoin would rise back up. That's what matters.
Did people think it was going to go down?
Yes. People were posting about the cycle top and liquidity's fading, and that's it. Bitcoin's going down. Excuse me. Do you not know that you live in the Holy Global Empire? We like number go up. You think our boy Donald Trump is not going to do everything in his power to make sure it goes up?
What? Our boy?
We put him in power.
Oh,
we are the puppet masters. He is our puppet.
You're Canadian.
The Holy Global Empire stretches throughout the world, Peter.
Okay.
And just because I'm a Canadian doesn't mean I'm not part of the vassal statehood.
Okay. Oh, right. We are definitely.
I give myself to the Holy Global Empire. We have to sing this all the time when we're wee kids.
Right.
I don't have any friends.
I have friends.
That's you.
People like me.
Now, Peter.
Okay. Upcoming
week. So the weekly trade, the level that we're at here, is going to be open up at 117. Let me see this number. 117.8. We'll find out more specifically what happens here at between 8 and 10 o'clock tonight. But 117.8 is where we're going to be looking for a bounce. Now, here's the great thing. Remember, there was a previous week that we talked about where we were, it was actually last week, where the price fell and we were below the level here, right? We were below the weekly level. This was the price that we were aiming at, around 118.8, 118.9. And the price did move up exactly to that level. And in fact, we oscillated around that level all week until we're back to where we are now. But do you remember I talked about this idea that we were coming up to the price from the bottom? And that usually means a short, right? It generally lends itself to be bearish for that period of time, for that week. Not guaranteed, but generally results in that. Now we have a similar thing where we are close to our price, but we're coming from above. So if we stay above until 10 o'clock tonight, and then we bounce out that level, we can get a massive bounce up afterwards for the week. Like that would portend an up week, and a pretty significant up week. Why? Because this level that we're at, the 118 level or so, would be coinciding with this trend over here, with our waves for the week, with daily levels. I mean, I'm just drawing all this bullishness that's happening, the support area that's happening right here. Crisscross applesauce, we're having it everywhere. So the chances that the price of Bitcoin, what I would love to see is that we get the Monday Marauder, Monday pullback into this level, and then wick up, and that would portend a nice move up for the rest of the week. Remember, if we get whatever move happens on Monday for Bitcoin, generally speaking, is the opposite of what will happen that week. Let me say that again. On Marauder Monday for Bitcoin, whatever move happens on Monday all the way up to Tuesday morning usually is the opposite of what will happen for the rest of that week. Call it a liquidity sweep. Call it a gift from the Lord of Liquidity. But that's generally what happens.
It's a gift.
That's right. So we'd be looking to see a move down and then up. So Tuesday, let's see what that brings. But it means that the upside potential is still, we are in blue sky territory here because we've cleared basically all the other levels up here. So the only real top that we have like holding us back would be between this 123, or basically around the 123 level. And if we break the 123 level, then we can get an explosive right up. So this level, it's no coincidence that it coincides with right where we might be able to head to. We get a little bit of a pullback and then a launch up. Will that happen before August 1st so that we can get our payout on Poly Market? I don't know. But what happens on August 1st if we don't get that payout? We bet again.
Bet again.
Bet again.
Not financial advice.
Your research.
You'll definitely lose the money.
That's right.
You underestimate my power.
Exciting. And you guys go to, let me just pull this up here, just as a reminder to people. When you go to sacredprofit.com, you'll be able to see these signals right inside of the dashboard. So I let you know what's the initial price when that signal goes off. It's usually between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. on Sunday. Then we get our target price where we're expecting to get to, what kind of gain you can get. This is the straight gain without the 50x leverage placed on it. These are not trade signals. These are trend signals. Okay? I'm just letting you know the direction that we're expecting Bitcoin to go to. So if you're ever worried about, hey, what is Tom's prediction for this week, and you're not sure, did it change or anything like that, here's where I make the modification. And if it fails, I let you know here right away. I don't generally do that on Twitter.
Wait, but Tom's predictions are dog shit. It's Sacred Prophet I want to listen to. Tom has mental problems and demons that possess his soul. Sacred Prophet is connected to the Lord of Liquidity.
You are correct. You are correct. You cut me to the quick. Tom is just a lowly loser, just like the rest of you. Sacred Prophet is the one who's elevated. Once you get into the channeling state, you become what's known as a god amongst men.
Okay, whatever. I didn't.
So thank you very much for putting that up.
Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't mean to unleash you there. I just wanted to let people know. All right.
Peter, there's an altcoin that I think will be the king of all altcoins. People are not prepared for this. I am not prepared for this. If I were to ask you, what are the qualities of an altcoin that you would want to buy for the long term? not just some flash in the pants Trump coin. Not trying to say anything against the leader of the Holy Global Empire for now. I'm not trying to say anything against that. I'm just saying that that's sort of like a really quick musical chairs sort of game. I get it. The Safe Moons of the worlds, the Pepes of the worlds, you get in, get out, get in, get out. No harm, except to the people who lose all their money because they don't have the coin. The Haktuas of the world, all that sort of thing. I get it. But if there was an altcoin that you wanted to hold, there were characteristics for an altcoin you wanted to hold, a meme coin that you wanted to hold, not a meme coin, sorry, an altcoin. What would one or two of those characteristics be?
Honestly, it would basically have to be a clone of Cardano. So strong fundamentals. It needs no hype or very little. The people who are involved in it should have strong moral character and demonstrate that by them not being zombies. Zombies being those the NGUs, the number grow up crowd. I know you're a number grow up guy when it comes to Bitcoin, but that's not the primary motivation. And it should be, I don't know, like cross-platform, like not limited, not siloed, something that everybody can use.
Well, for someone who's been in the altcoin game and you've bought and sold a few of them, why isn't it that you don't jump into a bunch of the ones that are popular? Why don't you get into them?
Well, I mean, some of them, Solana, Doge, because my boy Elon.
But you don't chase some of these coins.
No, I don't. I'm not a coin chaser. I don't chase. Okay, I'm a one coin guy. All right, I'm a monogamous coin holder. Look, I said my vows to Cardano, and it's still death do us part. And people go, "Oh, Charles is a scammer, and Cardano is a zombie." Don't care. All right. My wife gets fat. Don't care. All right. I lose sexual interest in her. Don't care. Okay. She's old, and I can get a younger model. Don't care. I'm sticking with what I got. I'm a one coin guy. That's who I am.
That's right. Well, when people look for these altcoins, because they've been trained in this mentality that the whole system is a pump and dump, what they want to do is get in quick and get out.
Right.
So they're looking for the game of musical chairs to be sort of drawn out a bit. So they want lockdown periods, they want fair launches and all kinds of different things in order to make sure that they can get in and sell it to the next greater fool. That's what they want.
Right.
What if I told you they can get all that in a coin that has all those features, but better and long-term oriented? So imagine all the characteristics that you want from a viral coin, a meme coin, but with all the staying power, as you said, of a Cardano, of a Bitcoin, of an Ethereum, of a Solana. Well, that's what's coming down the pike with the Midnight Token. Midnight Token launches real soon. They said July, but it's Cardano, so let's give it a month or two.
I thought you were going to say a year or two.
So I'm trying to be gracious. Hey, good things take time. I totally understand that. Let's say it's going to drop soon. This token is going to be the most fair launch you've ever seen. Why? There is no VC-backed anything behind it. Not a dollar of VC money is going behind it. And it will be a glacier drop that is going to hit, what was it? Not just the Cardano holders of the token. And they will be getting 50% of the tokens that are going to be distributed. Makes sense. Pay the people who've been supporting you this entire time. Totally understand that. But there are also going to be an airdrop to Bitcoin, Ethereum holders, Solana, AVAX, BNB. I might be missing one or two in there, but some of the big dogs. That means you are likely to get a bunch of Midnight tokens.
Hey,
access to Midnight tokens.
Didn't Charles talk about this? Do you have the clip? Do you want to maybe play a clip from Charles? Or one of the shorts? I think if you can pull up a short from our YouTube shorts, Charles talks about this. and I thought it was interesting. It might be good to hear it from his voice. Just an idea. We have an interview with Charles Hoskinson. We went to Consensus 2025, and we stalked that guy like we were beast, and he was look, he was our prey, and we caught him. It took everything we had. It took the law of attraction, the secret, to get this guy, but we got him. All right, so let's take a look at that.
The tip of the iceberg.
Well, this is the tip of the iceberg. Every week there's going to be a partnership announcement. Every week there's going to be technical announcements. There's community announcements. We are taking meetings with people you wouldn't even believe. The thing about midnight is its time has come. It's the age of cooperative economics. It's the age of rational privacy. And it's the age to get everybody talking to each other again. You know, we've lived for so long in this adversarial landscape where people are just beating the crap out of each other and one token's attacking another token. Nobody wants that anymore. Let's just all love each other again, because nobody in this industry is an enemy if you really think about it. We're all using public keys. We're all crypto people. The enemies are the big banks. The enemies are the large financial institutions. The enemies are the governments that want to take your liberty away from you and rob your freedom of association, commerce, and expression. And why we started Midnight and why we distributed Midnight the way we did is we wanted to have an ecosystem that brought everybody together. We wanted to have an ecosystem where everybody had a say. We had all these VCs come to us in the early days. They said, "Oh, we're so excited about Midnight. When's the ICO? How do we get some tokens?" I said, "You don't." And they said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Everybody has the same participation. It's an airdrop. Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and XRP and Avalanche and Brave and BNB and so forth." And they're like, but how does that work? It's like, we need to get our insider distribution. That's how tokenomics work. And I was like, that's how your tokenomics work, but that's not how cooperation works. Everybody's got to work together. So it's been very easy, surprisingly so, to make a lot of partnerships. What's really fun is what we call Operation Broken Windows. There's a lot of people that should have been in the Cardano orbit. They should have been working with Cardano. And for whatever reason, whoever's responsible, doesn't matter. It didn't get done. So we got Brave support just announced the other day. There's a lot more stuff like that. Wallets, custodians, infrastructure, stable coins. They're going to come not only to Midnight, but Midnight is a Cardano native token. So that means it comes to Cardano at the same time. So Midnight's really uplifting the Cardano ecosystem. It's going to provide more revenue streams for stake pool operators, ton more transaction volume for the Cardano ledger, and hopefully have a rising tide with TVL. So overall, I'm just so excited, pumped, and fired up. I haven't launched something since 2017, so it's good to do something a little new and interesting.
Sure.
The other thing is the technology cooperation is phenomenal. We got tech from Polkadot, we got tech from Zcash, we got tech from Aptos, obviously all the Cardano tech, and some brand new tech that has never existed before that we brought together and put it together. So Midnight really is a Gestalt chain that comes from many different places for many different people. And that's what makes it so easy to cooperate, because everybody can see part of themselves inside that technology.
Well, I'll say it.
So that's what's so fantastic about it. They're using all the things that they learned from Cardano project, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in order to create a super coin. Now, when's the last time you heard of an altcoin being dropped to people from supposedly the enemy camp?
Yeah,
never heard that.
That was like one of the best things I heard him say at Consensus 2025, that the XRPs, the all the others people, the Solanas, they're all getting it. Now, I saw on X some people, some Cardanians were kind of upset about this. They're like, give it to the Cardano people, give it to the people who use the Cardano apps. But I think it's a genius move, and it's something I always wanted Charles and Cardano to do, is to include the wider audience. This whole being adversary to everybody else is not a way to move forward. Building bridges is the way to move forward. And so I think this is genius. It's fantastic. I don't know how long it took for them to do this, but it must be something they've been working on for quite a while. It's not just an idea that came about recently, a few months ago. And I'm very proud of Charles and the whole team there for what they did relative to making the coin available to everyone else.
Well, when you see one of these drops that happens within one of the coin ecosystems, the idea is that those who were vigilant about it are paying attention to it. The insiders, the early adopters, or what have you, they get in, they pump up the stuff. It goes up in percentage points. people make YouTube videos and shorts all about it, and then other people say, hey, maybe I'm early enough, let me get in. I didn't get in on the 10,000% increase, but maybe I can get in on the 5,000% increase. And then the next person says, maybe I can get in on 100% increase, and the other one says, maybe I can get 20%. But they're dumping on their own people.
Right.
They're just cannibalizing their own people to the point that if that happens again and again and again and again, it's that, the classic example we're all taught, if you take 10 people, you have a room of 10 people or 100 people, let's say, and you all flip a coin, and whoever gets head gets 50% of the other person's money, and whoever gets tails loses that money. As you keep flipping, the Pareto distribution makes it so that 20% of the people will get all of 90% of the money, 80% of the money.
I don't think most people know this, Tom. It's not something we've all been taught.
The Pareto principle?
I don't even know how to spell Pareto.
Pareto, Pareto. The idea here is that in any trading system, at all, whether you're talking about markets, whether you're talking about trees inside of an ecosystem, inside of forests competing for sunlight and water and resources, if you're talking about selling records at a store, anything, whenever you have a competition, a trading competition where there's an exchange happening, you have 20% of the population will have 80% of the resources. Eventually, that distribution will always occur. So even if everyone starts equal, eventually you have this curve where everything accumulates to the top 20%. And then within that top 20%, the Pareto distribution happens again, so that 80% of those 20% of people are at the bottom, and 20% of those people at the top, all the way till you get to Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, where they get everything. And so that generally happens within these meme coin drops, altcoin drops, all these sort of airdrops, where you have the people who have the knowledge and already have a head start because they can flip the coin more often. They then because you're not even starting off equal, all the value then accrues to them. So just a technique to siphon money from the people on the low end to the people on the high end. We saw this. CoffeeZilla did a whole expose on this. He's been talking about this a lot, but he did a whole expose on this on the Trump coin. Right? And also on the, I forget what was that Argentinian project with Malay?
Libra?
Was it Libra? I forget what the whole hubbub was about, but it's this idea that the insiders, they want to cash in on the stuff and siphon money from the poor to the rich. So this is what he was saying. Charles was saying in the video that the VC money was like, hey, we want to get in on this game. We love your token. We think it'll be a great bait for a great scam. Let's go ahead and do that. They don't see it that way. They don't see it as scam. They see it as, providing liquidity or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, they want the value to accrue to them. And Charles said no.
Has incurred the sentence of excommunication.
And he could have said, let's do it all just for the Cardano network, because we're adding a feature here to blockchain in general that allows for privacy on the blockchain. We didn't have that before. What we had was that if you wanted privacy, you used the blockchain for all your public stuff, and privacy you had to keep locally. So you have to do all the old school legacy ways of keeping stuff private. And what does that mean? That means that entire privacy is owned by some centralized entity. Whereas Midnight allows you to be the one who controls that information, or whoever created the platform using the Midnight process. Now, yeah, there are other privacy coins out there, other privacy techniques. There are. But what's great about Midnight is that by default, out of the box, out of the bag, it's made to integrate with all these different systems. That means people from BNB, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BAT, all that can interact with the Midnight network and thus the Cardano network without ever touching Cardano, without ever touching Midnight directly, even though that's what's being used underneath the hood. And so all that value, the 50% of the drop that's going out to those other people, once they claim it, once they're using it, that value accrues, that liquidity, that transaction volume is happening through the Cardano network and can raise the Cardano network, even if they don't necessarily know that that's the case.
So does this mean, so what's going to go up more, Cardano or Midnight?
So here's the thing. So Midnight has its own tokenomics, right? So imagine you have $1,000 worth of Cardano. The idea here and it's not, we don't know yet because it's all supply and demand, but the estimation is that if you have $1,000 worth of Cardano, you'll probably wake up with about $800 worth of Midnight inside of your wallet. And if you're on one of the other chains, probably something like $400 worth for every $1,000 that you have. That means overnight, for those who claim it, they have almost double their bag.
Well,
now, in order to prevent dilution, in order to prevent just massive sell-off, everyone just dumping, they call this a glacier airdrop, because one, you don't get it right within your wallet. You have to claim it from the Midnight website. And then, even then, there is a rollout schedule for how this is going to be distributed. So there's a whole Midnight tokenomics. If you go to the Glacier drop, once this is active, you'll be able to go ahead and request your Midnight tokens. So this is what often people want within these altcoin spaces. We saw this with SafeMoon and all that. What you want is the ability to, you don't want everyone just dumping this coin that they just got. You want them to claim it, have a period where they have to hold it, and then slowly they're able to sell it off. Give people enough time in order to understand, hey, there's a value to this token, and that there's a value in holding it. So as it goes up, as this new feature of privacy gets implemented within different Cardano dApps and dApps abroad, you'll see that the need for this token, the idea is that it would increase, and then people are less inclined to sell the token as the token goes up in value, right? And this is happening right smack dab in the middle of altcoin season. So just to recap, we have fair distribution right from the get-go. So it's not all VC back, it's 80% inside the insiders, and they're going to just wait for an unlock in order to dump on everybody. That's not the case. You're the whale here. You're the one holding the token. So it's fair distribution. 2, it's distributed to people even outside of the Cardano ecosystem. So they have an incentive now to pay attention to Cardano. So that can make your Cardano token also go up in value, as well as the Midnight token. And then there's the actual utility of it, a new type of utility, a new type of security, new type of privacy that can unlock literally a whole new ecosystem of dApps. Because when you are using any of these blockchain systems right now, all your information is public. Imagine being able to use it and it's private. They give the example in, Charles gives the example at one point. He says, imagine being able to to prove that you're 18 in order to get into a club, but without having to tell the bouncer your age. I love that. There's one example that the CEO of Midnight, the foundation that handles the Midnight token, I forget his name, Eric something, I think it is. Forgive me. Imagine you have a Where's Waldo book where you have to find Waldo, and you need to prove to somebody else that you know where Waldo is, but you don't want to tell them on the page where Waldo is, right? You don't want to give them access to the whole thing so that they already know all the context and information. You just want to be able to, but you want to be able to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt that you know where Waldo is. Mm-hmm. So imagine what happens is that you have this infinite sheet of paper, and you poke a hole in that paper, and you put that hole in the paper over Waldo, and you show the person, here, look, I have found Waldo. So they can see, yeah, you did find him. Mm-hmm. But they can't tell the whole environment of Waldo. They could only see that you do know where Waldo is, and you move that paper away, and now they have to find, they don't know where Waldo is. That's the idea behind this. You can prove that something is true without giving all the information, all the context, which right now, you send a transaction to anyone or anyone knows your address, they know all the transactions you made on that account. Crazy. How are you going to do payroll that way?
Right.
How are you going to buy weed that way? You can't do it.
There's whole kind of but the voting, government systems, Medicare, medical systems, everything that needs privacy, and they can't just put their stuff on the blockchain because privacy is an integral part. So when you're talking about new projects, new apps that are going to be created, you're talking about that type of stuff?
everything from voting systems, from financial systems, from educational records to smart contracts, some arrangement you have within your own family, business being able to pay out their employees, anything where our current system uses privacy in order to get stuff done, which is the entire corporate space. All businesses can now use it. So now we're seeing all kinds of different partnerships that are happening with the Midnight token. So what you're seeing is partnerships for credit cards. You're seeing partnerships with different dApps, partnerships with crypto exchanges. There's all kinds of things that are being announced right now, because these partnerships are happening behind the scenes. One of my favorite ones is the that we heard Charles talk about at Consensus 2025, which is the arrangement with Brave, the Brave browser, one of the most popular browsers out there, where they needed a privacy system in order to work with what they were doing, and they're going to be using Midnight protocol in order to do that. Now, this is all, let me just end by saying here that this is all within the idea that Cardano is still a top 10 token. Top 10. Number 8 to be specific.
Not only that, didn't the government just put out a report that it was part of the top 3, the only 3 likely mature blockchains? Correct.
But let's say you didn't want to worry about that policy stuff, and you don't know that Charles is like busy behind the scenes, and all the people are working with different congressmen in order to get stuff done, and you don't care about bills and all that sort of thing. Fine. Just look at the fact that you can say whatever you want about Cardano. Cardano is still top 10. Right up there with the big dogs. Right up there with Sui and Solana and all your darlings, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Cardano is still there and has been there forever. So if you don't know anything about Cardano, something's been going on with Cardano that despite that whatever you think it is, it's still top 10. Now we're going to add the ability to put in billions and billions and billions of dollars of transaction volume through the Midnight token into the Cardano network. What that does for the price of Midnight or Cardano, who's to say? Do you want to not be holding the coin? That's the life you want to live? You want to not be holding the coin? Even though you are going to be allocated a certain amount, you want to not hold it? You'd be like, I'm going to leave money on the table. Get out of here. Don't be ridiculous.
So which ones do you think, I mean, you don't know, but which one do you think will go up more, Cardano or Midnight, at least in the short term?
In the short term, I think Cardano goes up.
So wouldn't it be smart before the airdrop, or is the airdrop already decided? Can I buy?
Already decided.
Oh, so I can't go out and buy 10 grand now of
correct. That's right.
Interesting. All right, I got one last thing to say about, well, actually 2 things. One thing I want to ask. One thing I'm worried about when it comes to Midnight, just so that this is not just a jerk fest for Cardano. I was going to say circle jerk, but there's just 2 of us, so it's more of like a tug of war. I don't know. I don't want to visualize that.
Circle's more of a stable coin. Stable coin thing.
The hype for Midnight. There's no hype for Cardano, but there is some type of hype going on for Midnight. I mean, as evidenced here in this stream. So I am worried that, are we likely to be overpromise, underdeliver, expectations high, but doesn't work out. The utility of the coin, it providing privacy, doesn't exactly work the way we thought. Maybe it takes a lot longer. Like, what's the danger there when it comes to hype and Midnight?
Right. So I've never been a fan of just trading off hype. This is why SafeMoon was never going to succeed. If the idea, and we saw this with Luna, we saw this with all kinds of different things, if hype is or price appreciation, that's what the hype is, right? Mm-hmm. The hype is about the price appreciation of it. If that is the selling point of the token, then it must necessarily fail. Because there's diminishing returns as the price goes up, because as you get more people in, just like when we talk about for Bitcoin, if there's a bunch of shorts, they have to get liquidated, the longs eventually are going to want to monetize their longs.
Right.
So they have an incentive to sell. As the price goes up, there's an incentive for more and more and more longs to sell. So you never want hype to be the selling proposition for your asset. Cardano has never had to worry about that. No projects on the Cardano platform has ever had to worry, but their hype exceeded their ability to do anything.
It's anti-hype.
But insofar as there is hype, because I've never seen Charles so hyped about something, the idea is that is the hype about the price appreciation or is the hype about the utility? Well, you've not heard anyone talk about the price appreciation, really. That's not what's being discussed. It's how it's going to be distributed and what kind of use you would have with it. So the idea here is that they've already entered into partnerships with other platforms. This is not something that somebody just spun up and go, hey, now let's try to figure it out. Let's put on a couple of layers and figure out the airport. That's not what this is. They've already done the work in the back end in order to make arrangements with institution after institution, project after project, credit card, all kinds of stuff in order to get the stuff done to have proof of concept ready day one. So that means there's a bunch of people who have already been sitting around one privacy layer within their application, and they've already created a whole programming language, a whole tooling kit in order to get that stuff done already with proof of concepts out into the wild. Well, you toss AI into the mix on top of that, where people can get their projects up and running, to get these things retrofitted, get these features in. That's billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of dollars is waiting to be distributed, productivity waiting to be created. Is the hype equal to that? Shit. No, we're not. Not anywhere close. The hype that we have right now for Midnight is not even close. We're not even hearing about Midnight token on CNBC. Once I hear Jim Cramer start talking about it, then I'm going to be like, hey, we ain't there. We ain't there. Plenty of upside potential. So the reason I was bringing up the idea that Cardano's top 10 right now, you go, are you prepared for waking up one day and Cardano's top 3? Are you prepared for that? Where this token adds a feature, a utility, to all other chains? All other chains. The promise of Polkadot was that, hey, we're going to have these chains that are already made, these parachains directly within our ecosystem. But the idea wasn't that you can connect with all the other ones, that you have to create it within the network. Monero is a privacy token. And from what I understand, privacy token, but it doesn't work with all these other networks. The token itself is the solution. But Midnight, you don't even burn Midnight. The holding of the Midnight generates dust, that's what's being burnt in order to generate the transactions on the network. So you're not even burning the Midnight token. It's holding the token allows you to do the privacy thing. So what happens with all these platforms go, hey, I even want to just experiment to know if I can convert my $5 billion idea into something that works with this network. They're going to have to buy a bunch of these tokens anyway. So I was saying 25 cents to 80 cents on the low end for Midnight. We could be looking at a future where we're, I don't know, what's SUI at now? SUI is at
getting some excitement.
$4 a token.
Got some excitement and love in the chat.
What happens, Peter, if people are able to imagine you're a whale, not even a whale. Let's say you're sitting around and you have $10 million worth, and you got Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, you got Solana, you got BNB. You haven't even touched Cardano. You're like, oh, I got this. And then this thing drops. And now, in addition to your 10 million, now you have $8 million worth of Night. And then you go, well, that Night's going to just drop to nothing. And then you see Night climbing up from 25 cents up higher. And then you get to the point where the value of your Night token is worth more than your entire bag, your other bag. What do you do then? What do you say about Cardano then? Hey, I was able to sell $8 million worth of it. I got 8 million. I sold 4 million. I sold 6 million just to have some on the table. And it absorbed the price and the token still used. I thought this was going to be a meme thing. Oh, it isn't. So you're going to have millionaires and billionaires. Midnight. What happens to our network? Now, you might say, Tom, wasn't Charles bashing the Holy Global Empire you love so much?
Yeah.
I don't love the Holy Global Empire. I respect it. And so does Charles Hoskinson. He's looking to change it from within. From within. He wants the systems to change from within, which is what I've always advocated. I don't want to play fascism. I'll play a couple of hands of fascism. That's all that's there. But they're coming in with something else. So they understand that the people who are against this sort of idea, against reforming our system in order to make it better.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
They know that the people who are against the Holy Global Empire are the ones who are going to fail.
Okay. On the midnight privacy, I feel like it would have solved or helped solve the T problem. Have you heard about the T app? The leak that happened? I shared with you on Twitter, on X. T. Do you know about the T app?
No.
So it's where for Americans. I don't know if it's for the rest of the world, but it's for America. And women can go onto the T app and they can spill the tea on guys they've dated or want to date. And then other women can go and find out, hey, the guy I'm dating, did anybody snitch on him? You know, is this guy good? Is he abusive? Whatever it is. It's T, right? T app.
Yikes.
In order to get on this app, you have to give your driver's license ID to verify you. Well, there was a
hack.
Not a hack, Tom. Whoever created this app, I'm going based off tweets. I don't know if you want to look it up, but apparently whoever created this stored the driver's license unencrypted on a public Firebase thing. I don't know what it's called.
No way.
I send it to you on. If you check your DMs, I send it to you on your I Love Tom Hartman.
Oh. That's crazy.
So, from what I understand, not everybody's ID got leaked, but there's like 15,000 or something like that IDs that got leaked. I can send you the tweet if you're looking for it.
Yeah, send it over.
All right, give me a second. Or just pull up Perplexity. Just search up Perplexity, and just use AI. Just ask TEA app what happened recently regarding that, and I'll get you the tweet.
Well, I saw it on Twitter. So on Twitter they're talking about it.
All right, cool. Right, let me show. Okay, I'll send you this tweet. How do I share this? Send it to
crazy. The T app. This reminds me of the Ashley Madison.
Yes.
Remember that website, the dating website?
People brought that up too in this context. I shared with you the tweet.
Because I was in the Ashley Madison database for research, for science.
For science.
Where'd you send it? Which one?
Sacred Prophet.
All right, I'll see it here. Oh, there it is. Jesus. Oh my. There is.
Can I pull up your screen? Or is
IF'd up, and there is IF'd up, and I built an app and accidentally leaked the driver's licenses of thousands of women on the internet. Wow.
So click on the image.
Wow.
So down there at the bottom.
The T app stores everyone's photo and ID unencrypted in a public Firebase storage bucket. Was this vibe coded? Even worse than this, the images have locations in the metadata. People are making maps of the users. The lawsuit's going to be insane. Oh my God.
Claude, check my code for any security vulnerabilities.
Don't miss anything. Crazy. Oh my God. Not just driver's license, any piece of ID they use, DOD cards, nurse IDs, passports. The lawyers are going to eat these people alive. Oh God, crazy. I'm assuming a class action lawsuit would follow. Brutal. You can dox me to the other girls. You can dox me to the other girls on a new app called T. It's got a secure user base, right? It's got a secure user base, right? Brutal.
Yeah, okay.
Brutal.
So when I think about Midnight, I think Midnight solves this, right? Or doesn't it?
Yeah, this is exactly it. So you're able to build on the trustless environment of the blockchain, but still have, you could just release just the information that's necessary. It's exactly this sort of thing. Perfect example. So, I mean, what's great is that, I'm looking forward to the apps where the only person you want to have the information is you. It's not even someone else created a thing. Like, we're going to have utilities that allow it so that you can interact with the blockchain and only you have the information, in the same way that you only have your private keys, but your activities are private. And the onboarding that's going to be possible for people within the network. I mean, can you imagine making the pitch to someone and you go, look, you can use crypto in order to pay for things. Lots of people do it. And they go, okay, I'd like to do that. I want to transfer $10 million in order to do that. Wait, what happens when I make a transaction? Oh, everybody sees all your transactions. They know everything that you do. They know everything. Spirals out to everything. They can trace it down. Doesn't matter how long it's around. People go, no. No, thank you. If they go, okay, well, if you pass it through Cardano, either you can hold the Cardano token or pass it through the Cardano network. Now no one, through the Midnight Protocol, no one's going to be able to know what your transactions are. But you'll still be able to do fast transaction speeds. In fact, even faster. Oh, and by the way, you can stake your coins on Cardano and earn a yield, 3% yield. So it's faster to transfer, stake, 3% yield.
You're not locked in with your stake either, right?
Liquid stake in, you could transfer immediately. You can use it immediately. And but what about the reliability of the network? It's never gone down. What? It's never gone down, never turned off, never been restarted, never been hacked. Okay, but what about that one time? Never. It's never happened.
And they've tried.
Oh, and this other token that's going to be securitized in this, that allows for this privacy, is made by the people who learned how to do all that. This is the second time they're going about it. And the goal of this one is to make it private. And it all works within the same network. Money please? Can I have Cardano and Midnight token? Are you kidding me? Who's going to want to use an app that's not privacy backed? Just fast forward 6 months from now. Why would you ever want to use a dApp that doesn't have this privacy layer? You'd be like, well, at least just use, okay, look, whatever you think about Cardano, just use the Midnight token in order to securitize your app. People are going to be like, where are you storing your information? Airtables? What? Can you please use this? Just use it.
I don't understand it completely, but wasn't there something, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be completely off. Wasn't there something where you could still use your own token, whatever XRP, Solana, Ethereum, it can go through Midnight and come out the other end, it could still be your own thing, and you never really have to interact with Midnight?
That's right. That's Babel fees. You're able to pay in whatever token the Midnight network allows. So the user who's using the platform never has to even know that Midnight or Cardano network is even involved whatsoever. But that volume still is interacting because the transaction fees are paid for automatically in this way. So the validators and different entities within the network can still make they'll be able to make money off of the fees, because this is what's necessary for the decentralization of the network, right? The whole idea is that they could make money doing this, but now they have two avenues for making money: Cardano token plus the Midnight token and all the transactions that are secured because of the privacy layer. Mm-hmm. So it increases the amount of money that validators can use on the blockchain. Well, then wouldn't you want to, if you were in that space and you're like, hey, I want to spin up a node and I want to be one of the validators making money off the transactions, it makes it more of a no-brainer to do it because it costs less than the other networks, and the other networks are still participating within it to whatever degree, even if you think it's 1%. The Cardano network is still top 10 right now, sans that 1%. That's without, in French, folks. Without Midnight token, Cardano was top 10. Without it, it's top 8. You don't need Midnight token for Cardano to order to be profitable. But it will become even more so. Oh my God, can we live in a future where Cardano dethrones Bitcoin? No, it won't. I just, look.
Max Kaiser's ears just went.
I'll be fine with number 2. Let's just get to number 2. Let's just get to number 2. And then we're coming for you, Bitcoin. But for right now, number 2. Are you ready, Peter, for Cardano to go from whatever, 70 cents or whatever it is right now to $15? Are you ready for that?
Bruh. OG Cardano here. I've been with Cardano. You told me about Cardano. How long has it been? I mean, the same time I got into Bitcoin when it was at 8,000. I think I got into Cardano around the same time. So it's been years. I have more Cardano than anything else. I'm very excited about Bitcoin, love the crypto industry, but Cardano is my baby. And yeah, I got enough Cardano. I got some Cardano. Wait, no, I don't have any Cardano. It was a boating accident and it went into the ocean. I don't have any. Right. I don't have any Cardano.
The last cycle, Cardano got to $3. And we started off that cycle at 9 cents. Now we're starting off 10 times higher at 82. What do we get to, folks? What do we get to? I can't wait for the look on people's faces when they go, well, I didn't buy any of it. I just sold all my Midnight tokens immediately. I don't want that. Zombie chain. I don't even know what Midnight does. Ooh. Have fun staying poor, people. Because when
this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
Okay, but it's kind of crazier than that. If Midnight delivers what it says on the tin, it'll be like Claude Code and the other CLIs, the other AIs out there. You're like, correct. No, I'm not going to use the other stuff. This gives me all the utility and price number go up. So if it does, like everybody's going to swarm potentially to Midnight.
That's right.
Because it's useful as well as exciting and number go up. So we could see, it's not just like another coin popping up and then the whole market kind of equalizes around that. It might be the sucking event where people rush, they realize the value of it and rush towards it, and then the other coins go down while this goes up.
Well, why did Solana explode so high? Is because it was focused on transactions per second and ease of spinning up. Like Ethereum, they had the whole EVM network, the whole EVM model that allows people to use Solidity in order to generate new tokens. So we had a bunch of new tokens that were being created on Ethereum because you couldn't build them on Bitcoin. But then they were able to be built faster and cheaper on Solana. Just that made Solana completely outperform Ethereum on a feature set that already existed. So we got the pumped out funds this cycle, where even Trump's able to put out a token. Like you could just go and click, and every teenager can go and click and make a new token. So they created that. So that happened, and that's a feature that already exists. Now imagine it's a new feature, and it's not competing with the other networks because it's a new feature. Solana, Ethereum, Sui, XRP, or they're not suggesting that they have anything like this. So if you're sitting there and you're like, I got to build an app, and you're okay, I'm going to build it on the Solana. I'm going to build it on Ethereum, whatever. Go ahead, build it. But when it comes to the part where I would normally go and use some public service and put all that liability on me, I got to figure out how to store that information and securitize it and encrypt it and all that. I got to do that. Like these people, the T people are going to get lawsuits. Like this is Fire Festival level of like fucked up. Like I got to do that. And they go, well, let me ask AI, is there another system I can use in order to do it? The only system that exists is Midnight. Excuse me, what? Yeah, Midnight. Whole program language. All the people are already using it. It'll be able to encrypt the information that you need in a blockchain way. Let's go ahead and add that in. It's sort of like the login. You can enter your email or your password, or you can one-click sign in with Google. I'll just go ahead and sign in with Google.
Do you think that it'll be easy to copy or recreate Midnight at least that technology for the other chains? I mean, can't they just osmosis?
Sure, but that's like all these chains are all, if I'm not mistaken, they're all open source. You could always go and spin up your thing. The question is, do you have the network adoption? So Midnight is launching already with all these people already in. This is a $1 million pixel level.
No, but I mean, can Solana or Ethereum, can't they just ingest?
No, so the Midnight token is taking advantage of the structure of the Cardano platform. The Midnight token is not another blockchain completely separate from Cardano. It's a Cardano native token, so it's adopting all of the feature set of Cardano. So the idea of liquid staking, the idea of fast finality, the idea of determinism within transactions, the ability to spin up Hydra for concurrency. There's all kinds of different feature set that exist within the Cardano network that in and of itself don't exist on other networks. Right? Like Bitcoin doesn't have a programmability. I believe Ethereum doesn't have liquid staking. Solana doesn't have the scalability, the Hydra scalability that they have on Cardano. They don't have it. So Midnight adopts all these different things and a number of other stuff. So if to go spin it up is the idea of cloning Cardano network and cloning Midnight in order to run your thing, but it's not compatible with their existing systems. Plus, why would you do that? Because it's non-exclusionary. You can just go ahead and use that system and still use your Ethereum. Like you're not prevented from doing it. So why would you try to learn a whole new thing and get new people adopted into this? No, it doesn't make any sense. They'll be first to market for this sort of thing. So there is nothing I've seen about this that's not like a complete hell yeah. It's going to be insane. I just imagine. I was saying, okay, let's say you have $10 million and you get $8 million worth of Midnight. But let's say I'm wrong. Let's say it's completely lower. Let's say it is $5,000 you're getting. Fine. That's $5,000 you didn't have yesterday. You'd be like, let me go take a look at this. Let me go take a look at this thing. That's moving up. I think I'll just hold on to it for a little bit. Let's just hold on. So very excited. Peter. Like I told you, I'm more excited by the Midnight token on the Cardano network than I am even about the Bitcoin leverage plays. But if you want access to any of this, the signals, the trend signals, the extra information, the things we're going to be building using these technologies, you want to be part of the wild ride that is Sacred Profit, you got to go to sacredprofit.com, sign up for free, gratuit. Make sure you sign up as an affiliate so that you can get access. You get the indicators if you want to trade yourself. You get trade signals, and we're going to be putting all kinds of extra features so you can get exactly what's inside of the mind of the Lord of Liquidity through your one and only Sacred Profit. Anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah, there is. Do you mind if we talked about Cardano a lot here? I think anybody who wasn't interested in Cardano might be. Can you make a prediction or show Solana and just to please the rest of the community here, so it's not just Cardano. Solana, I don't know if there's something else you want to take a look at, but just to look at the chart for that.
Sure, no problem. So if we take a look at Solana over here, we're going to add our indicators to it, switch to daily, and we're going to remove some things here. What I like about our indicators is that you can just toss them onto the chart and you immediately get a sense of where we're at. Great. Is this the best Solana chart to use? Let's see. No, there's more here. There's no volume. There we go. So Solana is likely so Solana is likely to double from here. So let's see. Yeah, Solana can get pretty high. The question we have with Solana is that, so all things remaining equal, Solana can absolutely 10x. Totally a possibility for that to happen for Solana. The thing is, it's not the only altcoin that can happen to, and also it's competing based on factors that other blockchains also have. So just remember, so Ethereum came and for a while ate Bitcoin's lunch in performance-wise. Then Solana came, ate Ethereum's lunch. And now, if I'm not mistaken, Sui is doing even better than Solana. So you're always going to have this race of, hey, who's going to be doing this thing faster, better, stronger? So you're in that competition. So what makes me nervous about it is that this sort of thing, and I'm not trying to say this is exactly what the same thing, but when we take a look at Luna, this is the Luna coin. Oh, might be gone. But the whole Luna fiasco is what I worry about for Solana. That there's a fundamental error within the system that makes it no longer attractive. And Cardano is just as fast as in fact, arguably in some circumstances faster than Solana. But I do like Solana as far as price is concerned.
Can you zoom in so I can see your indicators on Solana?
Sure. Let's zoom in a little bit more.
I don't get it.
Let's zoom into the 15-minute. So right now, the price is suggesting that Solana will fall for the next week. We'll see, because right now we're below the weekly level. We'll see what happens over there. But in general, all these altcoins, these top altcoins, will have that bullish momentum because we are in a bull market and we're only about 60% of the way through the bull market. Price-wise, not time-wise. You can get 60% of the move that happens, but within the next 2 months, as we get a blow-off top. So yeah, Solana's okay. The thing is, it's one of those coins like, well, you really wanted to get in 2023, 2024. It's sort of like your exit liquidity at this point.
But you say it can 10x.
It could, but the probability of that happening, like the people who bought it last year are already up the 10x. So it's got a 10x on top of that 10x. It's possible, but not likely. Whereas when you take a look at something like ADA, it didn't rise from the ashes yet. It didn't even get to all-time highs yet. So it can absolutely get there. 10x would be over here. So from the lows, if we just got back to the highs, people who bought the lows of Cardano are 10x there, but we're not even there yet. So there's way more runway. So if you have your bag already for Solana, great. I definitely hold on to it.
Not financial advice, do your own research.
Well, if I had my Solana bag at the beginning, I would definitely still be holding it now, but I would be selling it as soon as I could at the top of the cycle, which right now looks to be around October, November of this year. But I'd be selling all of it because I don't necessarily believe that there's enough there to survive the next cycle up, to survive the 80% drawdown and then to rise again afterwards, right? Whereas for Bitcoin, for Cardano, I would not be selling that at the top of the cycle. I'd be selling my leverage positions, but my other positions I would hold. Because I have an expectation that I'll get better and better. Because that's what we've been seeing with Cardano. Every new cycle, there's more and more features being added to the blockchain space. All right, guys, that's it for now. Again, I don't do this for nothing. The only reason I'm helping you guys is because I have to. The Lord of Liquidity will only provide me information about the future if I help other people who are alive right now. And for that, you're welcome. But in order to show your appreciation and to continue this going, you got to go to sacredprofit.com, sign up for free, register for the indicators, register for the signals, join the Telegram group, all that sort of thing. We're in beta right now. We're going to work through the kinks, but it's only through your attention will I continue my sacrifice, because I will turn to the Lord of Liquidity and tell him he can go and get lost if you guys don't sign up. I'm sorry, I don't actually mean that. I'm just saying that for them. Yeah, just for them.
But
all right, guys.
Tom, Sacred Profit, this channel provides you more than just understanding what's going on with these indicators and trying to offer you indicators. You should definitely like and subscribe to the YouTube channel because we offer you market commentary and understanding of the crypto market that is invaluable. So if you're not a trader out there, if you don't want these indicators, totally fine. But you definitely want to like and subscribe because not only is this informational, educational, it's entertaining. He hopes.
It's pretty entertaining. For everyone involved.
Okay, great. I feel like you just look for any excuse to play a sound effect. All right,
guys. As always, I wish you guys a happy week, and don't worship me, guys. I'm only a voice for the Lord. Have a great week.
Don't worship me.
Let's sign it off.
Lift up the stream that parts the sea.
Wrap it up.
Just a vessel in velvet shoes.
We're here to make money, folks. And we can't do it without you.
Where the river flows free.
Thank you, Shorts.
Only carry the flag.
An amazing time. What a time to be alive. All praise the Holy Global Empire.
Oh, yeah. Step in the pulpit, pinstripe cufflinks, mint condition kicks.